White shirts on the pitch, running fast through the night. Every heart beating loud under floodlit sky bright. So to London, stand strong. In the stands they belong. Voices echo like thunder. To the club they sing along. Up in Spurs we arise. Eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. King's fire in his eyes. Glory's what he seeks. With every goal he flies, rising to new peaks. From the lake to far and wide, with the pride of the fight. On this journey we'll ride, with our passion burning bright. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. From the lane to far and wide, with the pride of the fight. On this journey we'll ride, with our passion burning bright. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. With all our might. With all our might.
And so are you. Hi, guys, and welcome to THFC Till I Die, home of Tottenham past, present, and an exciting future under Ange Postecoglou as Tottenham Hotspur go marching on. And yes, your eyes do not deceive you. Dermatron is back. He is back. I'm still on the last few legs of my holiday, but as from next Wednesday evening and Thursday, I am back full-time doing what I do, what I love doing best, is talking Tottenham Hotspur to you. And firstly, a massive thank you to my co-host today for holding the fort, to Colin and Tequila as well, for really holding down the fort while I've been away on holiday. But my holiday, loved every minute of it, loving every minute of it, enjoying the time away, but I cannot wait to get back to I can't wait to get back to work. That's the sort of attitude I have. I said that to Mrs. Tron today. I enjoyed the holiday, but I cannot wait to get back to doing what I do best, which is talking absolute nonsense and talking Tottenham. So I'm good at that. So I'm looking forward to getting back to doing that. And joining me is, well, he's a bit of an enigma. Sorry.
Okay then, guys. Well, you're joined by Dem, of course, and myself. I hope you've all done well today, and Dem has just had to go off and do something real quickly. But so I hope everybody's day is gone. So I also want to thank everybody who's currently a member. If anybody donates, we're always eternally grateful for anybody who donates in these times. Yes, times are hard and everything like that, but whatever you can give us, we are greatly appreciative of it.
Yeah, sorry about that. Big up the Column. He's become a new member. I think he become a gold membership member as well. So big up the Column as well.
That came in towards my when I was doing the Carabag stream and stuff like that. That came up as well. So I think he just reactivated yet again for him.
Yeah, so big up to you, Colin. Thank you so much. Who will be joining us tomorrow for the Man United game. Also, introducing you, young man. Now, some say that you were an MI6 spy during the Cold War. And some also say that you've been Agent Arteta infiltrating the Arsenal team for their downfall. But all we know, he's called the young Spurs Dig. How are you anyway?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, It's just getting through the days one day at a time.
That's all you can do. That's all you can do. Look, let's go Thursday. Look, I thought Thursday's game was a good performance by Tottenham. To be fair, I thought going down 10 men after 10 minutes, you
Not even
thought
10
they had.
minutes.
Pardon?
Not even 10 minutes into the game, we went down. It was
Yeah.
like 7 or 8.
I saw a Spurs side with a bit of steel about them.
Yeah, of course, especially considering the fact is, as you stated just then, we went down to 10 men and we just kept on attacking. But let's be honest, if that was under, I said this on the air live and stuff like that, if we were under Conte or Jose, then we would have ended up just parking the bus and trying to fight it out and trying to hope out for a draw.
Well, I have a poll in the chat, guys. It is, can Spurs make it four wins in a row? And 3 of you have voted, and it's an unbelievable 100%. Yes, we can. And I think we can too. I don't know why we've got the fear going up to Old Trafford tomorrow, to be fair, Boris. I really don't.
I think it's just history, maybe. Could that be why? Like, the history, everybody still sees this Man United side as the ones... Well, you can't ever really write Man United off, though. That's the thing. Just like you can never write Spurs off. Like, they can have like a bad set of games like we've had. But then what happens, we could end up bouncing back like we have done. So that could end up happening to Man United. And we've always seen like Ten Hag loves playing against high line teams and stuff like that, and they've managed to always get something out of it.
Yeah, that is true. But listen, guys, if you do want to watch the game tomorrow, of course it is on Sky. I will give you all the details. But if you haven't got Sky and you want to watch the game, do so. Pick up our channel sponsor, Access Internet, private internet. I'll bring up a little video to say what they do, and we will talk you through it. So where is the video? Here it is. This is our new sponsor, Private Internet Access. It gives you all the joys of private internet access. Now, without a VPN, this is where all your information goes to: hackers, government, corporate. But with internet access, private internet access, it goes directly nowhere, just from your computer to the internet. It is one of the best around. I've got it. You can use it on your mobile as well. It's so easy to use it in your mobile. You can be anywhere in the world and use it on your mobile. You can also use it on your laptop as well. And you can use it on all these different things as well. You can bank on it. You can do everything on it. Access-wise, it's true everywhere and anything. You can use it, which is brilliant. But it's not only that. You can use it on all your devices. But it's not only that either, guys. It's unlimited devices. So anyone in your family with the one connection can use it. And as you can see, it goes all over the world, from Australia to Canada to Brazil. It has internet access everywhere and like that. It predicts everything, and it doesn't store anything. So they don't keep any data. They have over 30 million people using this service, and it's got 4.5 stars. It is the private internet access. It is our channel sponsor. But for 43 plus VAT, you get 2 years for €43. Say 50 euro for 2 years access of great VPN to watch all the Spurs you want, to watch all the football you want. And also, on top of that, you get 4 months free on top of that as well. So you not only get 2 years for less than €50, you get more than that. You get 4 years, 4 months on top of that. So I think it's a great deal. I'm using it. Mrs. Tron's using it. I know, Boris, you're going to use it.
Yep.
I'm ready for that. You can, for all the football you want to watch in the world and all the Tottenham games, you can't bargain at €50, which is less than another competitor that does VPN at the moment.
Yeah, of course, considering the fact it's like a ticket for the Spurs match last night against Karabakh, that was like £30, so it was literally just a bit over half of what you'll be paying for the private internet access.
So look, it's worth it. And if you help them, it helps us. And we like to help you. We know times are hard out there, guys. We do know it's not easy. Inflation's high, prices are high. And you do go to these VPN places, Boris, and some of them are quite expensive.
Yeah, like I'm using NordVPN, and I paid, and I got it on Black Friday, and that still cost me £70 for a year.
Yeah, so you're getting 2 years for 45 plus VAT, plus 4 months free afterwards on unlimited use. The link is in the description below. In the description, we are going to put the link into the chat as well. I will do that in a minute. We've got big up to Monty talks as well. He says, "Where's Bazza?" Bazza's probably doing the Arsenal game, but we are over here, and of course on our YouTube partner channel, the Full Time Sports Network, and also we're high on MUFC Spotlight, which is Column's Man United channel. So good morning or good afternoon to you guys there as we give you the build up to the big game tomorrow at Old Trafford. Well, you're asking where is it? Well, this is all the information you're going to need. Of course, it is a half-ball kickoff for Old Trafford and Manchester tomorrow. So looking forward to that. To the greatest, I think Old Trafford's the 9th wonder of the world with its waterfall.
It could be, yeah, honestly. It won't
So
surprise
bring
me.
your brollies. Bring your brollies. You might get right up there. Of course, if you want to watch it, of course, it's on Sky Sports in UK and Ireland. It's on NBC Sport, NBC.com and Peacock in the US. And in Canada, it's on Fubo TV. And this is, if you're living, say, you haven't got Sky, this is where the VPN comes in handy because you can watch it anywhere in the world. This is
what sort of football provider is called Fubo TV? Bit weird, isn't it?
They're Canadian.
That makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah.
Why they call that.
Now, this is the Premier League. We've played 64 times for 14 draws. Total wins, 24 wins for Manchester United, 39 wins at home, 15 away. Spurs, 11 wins in total in them 64 games, 7 at home, 4 away. So Premier League-wise, we haven't had the best record against United, but
yeah,
we've got a 2-2 draw last season at Old Trafford, so maybe the tide is turning.
Well, you also have to remember as well, look what happened in 2020 during COVID. We smashed them, what was it, 6-1 when they went up early?
Yeah.
By a goal from Rashford, I think it was.
It was. So, look, where are you going with this, with tomorrow? I mean, look, Man United and Tottenham has always been one of those big fixtures for me over the years.
Yeah, of course. It's probably going to be the biggest match tomorrow.
Yeah, but you've only known it like through a young eyes, through your young eyes in the Premier League.
Yeah, of course.
How much do you look forward to this game, or is it a game is this one of your big games that you look forward to?
It's a big game, but not as big as like the London derbies, not as big as like say West Ham, Chelsea, or Arsenal.
Yeah.
I'd say it's like a bit bigger than like the other London derbies, like the ones against Palace and Fulham. It's bigger than them, so it's in like between, if you know what I mean, like how excited I am. I'm always going to be excited. I'm going to be excited for any match what we play. Let's be honest, because we're all Spurs fans here. It's boring when Spurs isn't on. Let's be honest, unless it's like a major international tournament where your country's doing well at that point. Like England, I'm always stuck with so much to watch. Really, like in international tournaments, like either getting to semi-finals or finals, like we have done like the past few years, anyway. So it makes sense.
Yeah, it does. But look, for me, these games are always great. I enjoy the Man United Tottenham rivalry. I think it's a great rivalry. But as I said earlier, we haven't won up then since Jesus was a baby, since Moses parted the Red Sea.
I never knew Moses was parted the Red Sea in 2020.
Yeah, he did. He parted it for us. That's why.
Understandable.
Yeah, it does. Very understandable. Big up to Matthew as well as big up Howdy chaps. Big up Matthew. Matthew says, I will be watching the game on early morning here in Canada. We'll pick up the VPN and make it good. The link is there. There is the link. And it's pinned at the top of the chat. €43 for 2 years plus 4 months free. Can't be sniffed at. Cannot be sniffed at. And he says, this is like a Spaniel versus Barcelona type of match. It is, really. It is. Just wanted to give you a bit of an update with the Premier League scores as we'll go through them. Of course, Newcastle drew with Man City today, 1-1. Big shock for that one. Arsenal were beating Leicester 2-1. Brentford 1 and West Ham 1 now. Chelsea, as Boris said to me before we started, are running right against Brighton. It's now 4-2. Everton have taken the lead against Crystal Palace. 2-1.
Oh.
That game's been turned on its head. And Fulham are 1-0 up against Nottingham Forest. Cost the half-5 kickoff is Wolves versus Liverpool. And then, of course, tomorrow it's Ipswich versus Villa at 2. We're live here, of course, tomorrow for Man United, Tottenham. And then on Monday, it's some team called Bournemouth against Southampton. So that plays out your Premier League weekend.
And I will also say, if you've got Cole Palmer in your fantasy team, you're going to be very enjoying your time tonight.
Yeah. Now, this is Tottenham's current form this season so far. 5 games in. Not really the most consistent, really, Boris. Of course, we did drew 1-1 with Leicester. Then we beat Everton 4-0. Then we had back-to-back defeats against Newcastle and them lot down the road. But we did end up last weekend with a game you did by yourself and then Carl absolutely brilliantly, because I had to shoot off. So thank you so much for that. 3-1. And then, of course, we beat Coventry then in the League Cup. And now we also beat Qarabag 3-0 in Europa League. So 3 wins in a row in all competitions. Premier League wise, it's been a bit of an iffy start, hasn't it, really, for us, to be fair?
Yeah, of course. I think it was just like, it was bound to happen, though, really. It was bound, it needed to happen, really, because the players just couldn't find the feet. They couldn't find the feet, and then they didn't end up knowing what to do, like how to put in shots away. But from what it seems like now, we've actually got that striker what knows how to put the shots away. Like if it rebounds, Solanke every single time, Solanke's always there to put it away.
Right. Okay, I'll get back to that in a minute. Yeah, for me, look, it's not a case of a dodgy start. Look, we're never going to get 10 out of 10 like we did last season, or have to start we did. We never did. We never were.
No, of course.
But I feel we've turned the corner now with 3 wins in the bounce in 3 different competitions. I feel that we've coming into some big form. So is it the right time to play United? Because if you look at United's run, they haven't started the season great either. Okay, they beat Fulham 1-0, but they had back-to-back defeats.
They've only won 1 game compared to us. We've won 2.
Yeah, and they had back-to-back defeats against Brighton and Liverpool. Then they got the 3-0 win against Southampton. Now 0-0 against Crystal Palace, which you and me slightly mocked Column about, but Column did make a very good point. They did lose 4-0 there last season, so 0-0 probably is a great result for them.
Yeah, but you also have to remember that Palace have players like Elise and stuff like that still there. Let's be honest, if Elise was there, they would have probably they would have probably lost.
Yeah, and then they drew 1-1 with FC20, which, you know, in my view, is a bad result for United.
Yeah, but
it hasn't started well for them. Who's more under pressure, Ten Hag or Ange?
Ten Hag, no doubt about it, because Ange has won 3 games on the bounce.
Yeah,
and he managed to secure his first win in Europe. With Spurs, and everybody seems to forget Spurs had only 2 players what had European footballing experience in the first 11. In that entire, essentially from the starting 11, and that was Davies and Son.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just doing something. Right, okay. Done that. Look. I don't know. I don't know. I'm more confident for this game, to be honest with you, Boris. I really am. I really am. And nothing there sort of gives me any confidence that Man United can beat us tomorrow. I really don't.
I'd say goal-wise, I'd probably say it's either 3-2 Spurs or 2-1 Spurs.
Yeah,
I'd say it's going to be. I'd say it's going to be closer. I'd say it's going to be closer than people think, but I still do think we're going to come away with the win.
Now we have 2 players out. Richarlison's undisclosed, but he is back in training, guys. He is back lifting weights, which is great to see. And of course, Odegaard is out with his thigh, but for what I'm hearing, Boris, he's not out as long as we thought he was. He will be back sometime in October.
Yeah,
I think that's the timeline.
Yeah, from what I heard, it was around mid-October. He's supposed to be back by.
Now, this is the predicted lineup. I am going to do a slight I was going to do a pre-record predicted lineup, but things have just, I've ran out of time basically. So what we're going to do, we're going to go through the lineup now, Boris. So this is the team that I picked, and I think this is the starting lineup. I've gone with Vicario in goal, Porro, Romero, Van de Ven, your Destiny the back four, Basuma and Papasar in the midfield. The three midfielders I'm going for Johnson, Madison and Sonny, and up front Solanke. Look, can I just say, I had a bit of heat on Johnson, but I've always been his biggest fan. I've always been somebody that will have his back. And by God, he's proven his worth the way he's come back. Since he came off the social media, he's become a different player. He's ignoring the critics. He's ignoring the abuse, which he should. Look, criticism is one thing. Verbally abusing a human being is another thing. These are human beings at the end of the day. And he's answered them brilliantly. Madison, great to see him back. I think he had a good game against Brentford as well. He played very well against Brentford. Sonny as well up front. Now, Sonny's sort of the one where will he start or won't he? Look, do you think the back four, the back five is going to remain the same? That's not going to be a problem, is it?
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see that changing unless Romero picks up an injury. I don't see that changing at all. And if Romero does, it'll be Dragusin what starts, anyways.
Yeah. And then if you go for the midfield, would you change them two midfielders? Would you start with Bentancur, or would you start with Basuma, or what? Where would you?
Maybe
what would you do in the middle?
I might take I keep Basuma in 100% because he's a bit like Johnson. He's had a full 180 after that entire balloon fiasco. Like he's actually come back into the style he was as soon as we started the season last season, wasn't he? Really, before he did that horrible dive and ended up getting himself sent off. And I'd probably swap maybe Pape Sarr with maybe somebody like Bergvall, because Bergvall does deserve a start after what the idiot of Dragusin did, which had to force Ange to take Bergvall off it, because otherwise I feel like that'll just knock his confidence too much, the fact that he's had to bring him off.
Yeah. Well, can I just give you a bit of breaking news? Leicester have equalised against Arsenal. It's now 2-2 at the Emirates. I know Boris is actually giggling.
Oh God, it's funny.
63 minutes. Justin got the equalising goal for Leicester City. So that game's still on. We're Chelsea. 72 minutes gone. So I'll give you a sort of quick recap. 69 minutes gone at the Emirates. It's now Arsenal 2, Leicester 2. Brentford 72 minutes gone at Brentford. It's Brentford 1, West Ham 1, because Chelsea is still winning 2-4-2. On 64 minutes, 72 minutes, Everton 2, Crystal Palace 1. 71 minutes gone at Forest's ground. It's Forest 0, Fulham 1. So 2-2 so far. Oh dear. Isn't it great?
That makes my weekend even better now. The fact that, and then if we come up with 3 points, that's going to complete the weekend. Let's be honest.
It will.
But yeah, I'd say if Son isn't fit, I'd probably say either Werner starts or maybe Mikey Moore, or maybe what Ange will have to do is just put Johnson on the left, even though it's not his natural position, and Kulu on the right.
On the right.
But that isn't Kulu's best position either, though, is it? Because he's more of a natural 10.
Would you move Madison onto the wing? He has played there he did play there for Leicester on the wing.
Yeah, he did, and Madison did play further out left against Brentford, so he can play it, but it's just a big risk considering the fact with him being on the left, he'd be going up against Mazraoui from United, wouldn't he?
At the moment, the poll is 5 votes in, 100% for Spurs can make it 4 wins in a row. That's what we like to see. Look, I think that will be the lineup tomorrow. Somehow, I really do think that will be the lineup tomorrow. The only worry for me, Basuma for me, I feel Basuma owes us a performance. Do you think he's paying back the fans now for what he did, what he got himself in trouble with?
Yeah, I'm feeling, of course, he's paying himself back for what he did because he's otherwise, if he wasn't, he'd be trying to ask for a transfer request, or he wouldn't really be putting in performances, and Ange wouldn't be deciding to play him at all, would he? Because otherwise, if Ange sees that he's trying to pay back the fans for the issue he made, so yeah, of course, it's just a matter of time for him to prove himself back again, which he is slowly doing for us.
I think that's a team that can beat Man United. I
Yeah, of
really
course.
do, and I don't think we should be in any fear of going up to Old Trafford tomorrow and feeling we're going to lose.
I don't think it's.
I don't think we should.
I don't think they're fearful. I think there's just a tiny bit of nerves because something. Yes, Old Trafford's not like the fortress it used to be, but it can
No.
still create. It can still create hiccups for teams, no matter how good the teams is,
Mm,
how good the teams are. It is still a huge hiccup in the road.
yeah. It is. Now, if you are going to the game tomorrow, supporters are advised to plan their travel in advance and are requested to arrive at the stadium early. Old Trafford, it's a public transport destination served by buses, train and Metrolink team tram services. Supporters can plan their journey by visiting Transport for Greater Manchester's journey planning there. The TFGM's travel advice for this fixture, including details of parking and ride facilities, can be found. Now, entrance to the stadium, the visitor section is located in the southeast corner of the stadium, and access to via turnstile S22 and E30 out of the east stand, guys. So that's all the little information for you. Now, Tequila, Boris, sorry. Now, we found a couple of snapshots of Man United's attack, and Tottenham's defence isn't the greatest, has it really been this season? And we have been caught out. We do play a high line. Now, this was against Crystal Palace. Now, this was one, as you can see, United have got four there. There's four players back for Crystal Palace. But if you see the play here, the number 17 is about to run into that sort of gap that's
Yeah.
left between the two centre backs. Now, is it vital for Basuma and the two defensive midfielders, right, to tighten up these spaces, and also the back four not to leave big gaps like this tomorrow? Because if they do, Man United will get through them and will expose them.
Yeah, of course. But I think that's the same with any formation, really. I think Ange has planned for this and stuff like that. He knows what he's doing. And Basuma, for the last two games against Brentford and against Karabag, he's locked down those areas, hasn't he? Multiple times. He was able to regain possession of the ball pretty quickly in each time they try to do anything. So I think we'll do all right with that sort of issue because, like, we know how Man United play, and obviously, as you can see, their number 17 in Garnacho is getting forwards and stuff like that. And with it being a high line, there's a chance that with us doing that, there's a chance that multiple of their players will end up being offside, won't they? In regards to it,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they like doing those sort of kicks and stuff
mm,
like that. And look, Garnacho was almost offside there, really, wasn't he?
mm.
Unless if Palace's sent one of the right sided centre back dropped back a bit, if Garnacho made that run, it would have been offside.
Yeah, but if you do look at that, it is vital for our midfield to really tighten on the Man United, because Man United have this. We looked at them against Fulham. You looked at them in some of the matches. They can. If there's an opening, they will expose it, and we
Yeah,
have a
no
high
doubt.
line that we play. So this is another sort of picture we have from the midfield as well. And with Spurs playing a high line, are we in danger with more balls over the top? But we have got Mickey van der Ven, who's the quickest defender in the West. But we're still vulnerable, aren't we, from that? So
Yeah.
is it down to our midfielders to really, down to Basuma and Sarr and probably Madison as well, to really come back and make it a three in midfield that is compact and tight, that doesn't give Man United the room or the facilities to actually put balls over the top?
You say that, but you also have to remember though, like with us playing us two inverted wing backs, we also
Mhm.
have Destiny and Porro in that midfield as well.
Mm.
So it'll be five in midfield versus like three of their players. So I think we'll be
Mm.
all right against those sort of balls and stuff like that. Because we saw against Karabakh, they was attempting that sort of stuff as well, like the kicks over and
Mm.
stuff like that. And look how quickly Basuma got back and Mickey got back. So the only time we were caught out was the time against Dragusin, who ended up getting
Mm.
sent off because of it.
Yeah. Well, no disrespect to Karabakh, Manchester United um, are a sort of different opposition to Karabakh. No disrespect to them,
I'm
but
not. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in terms of the
mm,
fact that they were doing that sort of high line kicks and stuff like that. What ended up getting us caught out and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah,
Whereas and like we saw with Man United, they might end up if Ten Hag plays his cards wrong and ends up not playing like players like Amad Diallo, Xerxes and stuff like that, or takes them off early on, like
mm,
halfway through, we'll end up getting something out of it because that's their two most creative players from what I've heard from either Colm or other Man United fans saying those are their two creative outlooks, really.
yeah. Now Matthew says yes, we are, but Van de Ven has the craziest recovery pace. Plus, Solanke should step up tomorrow, and that's another thing as well. It we. I mean, we looked at Wednesday. We looked like a complete team on Wednesday. I watched the highlights from both Brentford and the game on Wednesday, and for what I saw, it looked like that we were playing as a unit. Do you feel we're now coming together as a team?
Yeah,
And
of
I think we
course.
are.
Yeah, of course, but I also do think as well, like we were caught out earlier on and stuff like that in the
Mm,
Karabakh game, mainly due to the fact that a lot of us players hadn't played together and stuff like that in the full
mm,
90 minutes of starting lineup. Really, did they? Because we were playing Bergval,
yeah.
Dragusin, Mickey, like Dragusin, like we see how long it takes. It does take a small like 10, 15 minutes for players to gel and adapt to like playing with
Mm,
other types of players because we saw that against Newcastle and stuff like that, where
yeah.
Dragusin and Romero they had to gel and adapt, and like we saw
Mm,
like with certain games like the Arsenal one, we overshot passes, undershot them, all sorts.
yeah. Yeah, no, I get you. Look, I'm just going back to this again, and it sort of falls into the first sort of talking point. How will Ange Postecoglou's attacking highline plans style and match up against Erik ten Hag's more controlled possession-based approach? I mean, look, I know we're going over these photos again, but is it so important that our wing backs don't become wingers in the midfield system where they should, I think, tomorrow be more stay back as fullbacks? Do you know what I'm getting at? That the back four is a proper unit because I feel this is where we do get caught out. Or if one goes up, then the other one stays back. Do you know what I'm getting at? And do you feel Ange is too high line probably for his own good?
Well, anybody can be too more high line than anything, really.
Mm,
Like we can say, like sometimes Mickey shouldn't be that far up, but he is.
yeah.
Romero shouldn't be that far up, but he is. Solanke shouldn't be that far back, but he is. Because I'm just gonna say this: Solanke's like Kane, but with
Mm,
pace. Because like the amount of times we see Solanke tracking back towards like the defenders or the midfield and stuff like that to help him out. That's what Kane did for us as well.
mm. Yeah,
And
it did.
he's got the pace something what Kane didn't have, unfortunately. Because let's be
Yeah.
honest, Kane really never had pace, did he?
No,
He had to
Kane
adapt to
had
the
more
rest
of
of
a
his game.
football than brain than
Yeah,
pace. You get
Kane was more like an 80s, 90s style of footballer.
yeah,
Wasn't overly pacey, but ended up having a great shot and a mind of an old school
yeah,
footballer. Something
he
what I
did.
think Solanke has, but Solanke also has the pace to match it.
It does. He really does, and he's sort of proven that now with 2 goals in 2 games, being there to put in the rebound with Sonny's shot, and also getting his first goal for the club against Brentford, which I think will do him the world of good and confidence as well. Now, this is Christian Eriksen's heat map so far this season, and the red bit shows that's where he is most dangerous, and of course the yellow and the green and the blues is where he gets around. Where do you feel Christian Eriksen? Who has the job tomorrow? If Christian Eriksen plays, who would you put on marking him? Would you put Basuma on marking him or Papa Sarr? I think Basuma.
Who was our slowest player?
I would say Papa Sarr.
Put Papa Sarr on him then, because he's not
Yeah.
that fast. Let's be honest. Eriksen's pace has decreased a hell of a lot. Like we saw
Mm.
that with, and even his his footballing mind really decreased as well. Because look, he did like a Romero and just switched off completely and ended up costing them a goal, didn't he? If you
Yeah, that's
against
true.
FC Twente, like
Yeah.
if Eriksen didn't switch off there, that wouldn't have happened and stuff like that. So it's bound to happen. But I'd say maybe put somebody like either Papa Sarr, or maybe even if you don't start Papa Sarr and you start Bentancur, put Bentancur on him.
Mm. Yeah. And then we got this from.
That could actually be a good midfield as well. Bentancur, Basuma, and Maddison, because Bentancur could play as the 6 and makes you 6. Basuma can play as his natural 8, and Maddison could play as a natural 10.
10, yeah. Now, this is Bruno Fernandes. Now, this is on the other side. This is where I'm going about with the inverted wing backs, where I think tomorrow, I think they should stay back a bit more, because we are going to be caught if Eriksen gets on one side and Bruno Fernandes, who likes to come on this side, but he also likes to go into the middle as well. He sort of darts in, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And where tomorrow do you think it's going to be so important? Because if you're going to have Basuma or Papa side that side, so are you thinking of having Bentancur to look after Eriksen, and then Basuma looking after Fernandes? Because one of the things I have here is Bruno Fernandes versus Basuma. Can Basuma nullify Bruno's gravity in the midfield, or will Fernandes dictate the pace of the game? And that's the thing. That is going to be one of the most interesting matchups tomorrow, I think, if they both play Basuma against Fernandes.
Honestly, though, like from what I've heard of United fans, they're not really being a huge fan of Fernandes this season. A lot of them are actually hating him because he's just becoming too unreliable and stuff like that. They thought, I've heard a lot of United fans saying they should have sold him last year after he had his last good season and ended up getting some money out of him for it. But now, because he's got a new contract now anyways, isn't he? Or a year ago he got a new contract. So I feel, if anything, Basuma will win those sort of fights, but it still is going to be a lot tighter than people do think.
Yeah, no, I just feel Basuma tomorrow will nullify Fernandes. I just really do. Well, Colin has sent it over his predicted lineup. He sent me over 2. So this is. So do you want to read out the predicted lineup from Colin here? And this is just his predicted lineup first.
Yep. So in goal, of course, you have Onana is the back 4. You have Dalot on the left side of centre back, Martinez and De Ligt as Martinez is the left side centre back, then De Ligt is the right side of centre back. Right back, you have Mazraoui. In midfield, you have Ugarte, Zexi, and Menu. In the front 3, they have Garnacho on the left, Højlund on the right, and Ahmad on the right. Højlund up front as a striker, and Ahmad on the right.
Now, this was Column's predicted lineup. This, he says, is going to be the actual lineup. So, I mean, look, he's gone for Fernand. He's gone for Eriksen instead of Menu. He's gone for Bruno instead of Zachary. And then he's gone for Garancho instead of Rashford. And then he's gone up front, Zakazi up front. So, what do you reckon to that? Which one do you think? Do you reckon he's first one or second one?
I think the one we'll be playing is the second one, of course, because it's just because we know Erik Ten Hag likes Zexi as a striker more than he does as an attacking midfielder, which Ekholm obviously wants him to do.
Yeah.
And he likes Bruno as said attacking midfielder.
Yeah, look, for me, I think whoever we play tomorrow, I think we're going to be a match for them. I really can't see us losing tomorrow. I don't know why I'm this confident. I never am confident going up to Old Trafford. But tomorrow I am. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Do you think it's just because of their recent performances, maybe?
Yeah, look. There is a thing here. Both teams will likely be fighting for top 4 finishes. I know they're not in a position where they will finish at the end of the season. But how crucial is this Thursday season matchup for the respective campaigns? I mean, if we win tomorrow, that's then 4 wins in a row for us in all competitions, 2 wins in a row in the Premier League, 4 in total. If Man United don't win tomorrow, that's what, 1 win in their last 4.
Yeah.
Do you know, Ten Hag, if he doesn't win tomorrow, how much pressure will he be under? And we've seen this inconsistent Manchester United team this season. Started the season not great. They can be so inconsistent. Look how they fell apart against Liverpool. Look how they actually played against FC20 as well in Europe.
Yeah, of course.
Are we looking at players that are not playing for Ten Hag? Where if you look at our team, Spurs, everyone's behind Ange Postecoglou. The players are behind him. The fans are behind. Well, the majority of the fans are behind him. That we're more of a united front going up there, where United seem to be not united. And it's a good time to play them.
Yeah, of course, but we can all think it's a good time to play him. But it's like, when every team's on like a defeat and stuff like that, and you see like a team like Spurs who's playing a high line, they'll always think, "Oh, this is our time to turn it around," and stuff like that, which always makes it a big risk, because every team, no matter what size team you are, they're always like, "Oh, we want to beat Spurs," no matter how they say, "Oh, Spurs don't affect us," and stuff like that. Every team still wants to beat us, no matter what team it is. Let's be honest, Liverpool still want to beat us, City want to beat us, Arsenal want to beat us, Chelsea want to beat us, United want to beat us, Villa want to beat us. Every team in the Premier League wants to beat us, no matter what teams say they don't want to. They clearly do, but I'll probably say, in general, about for the first question about is Erik Ten Hag under pressure, from the fans, yes he is, but from the board themselves, I don't know really, because from the fans' perspective, they see that they've got Ruud van Nistelrooy in as a assistant manager. They see him coming in as the interim manager until he can get another manager in. But it's just a big risk really for him. Like, you can't really predict what the Man United board are going to do, really, can you? Because it's not the Glazers who are in charge of that side anymore, is it? It's
I described the owners of the Manchester United as the Trotter family yesterday. I described Erik Ten Hag as like granddad.
Yeah.
You've got Maguire and Bruno, 1 or 2 as actually like Rodney, and you got the owner of Man United like their boys, but he's selling a false hope to them United fans, because we're going to go up there and smack their asses tomorrow. We got Lewis Liston, big up to Liston, great Syrian. So this game tomorrow, it's very difficult to predict. United look better to me this year. I don't think they look that better than they have done last season. There may be the new players have probably helped, but I don't think, to me, they look any better than they did last season. They looked, the same old mistakes seem to be creeping in up there at the moment.
I'd say if Yoro didn't get injured in pre-season, and we actually got to see how good of a player he is, because from what I heard of people saying like Yoro before he got injured and in the Man United shirt, he did really well for him. So I'd say if Yoro wasn't injured, I'd be more afraid, because like, look at him now, they have both Martinez and De Ligt more than likely going to be playing together, and that's going to be a easy line to get past. No offense to them both, but they're not really that pacey, are they, compared to, let's say, players like Solanke? And we saw like Solanke's hold up against Karabag, one of the Karabag players on Thursday, who he then managed to pass it to Johnson, and Johnson ended up hitting it home, didn't he?
Yeah, I think Solanke played very well, and his hold-up play's been brilliant the last couple of games, actually. It really has. Yeah. And then we've got the real N7 Yed Lewis. Big up Lewis, a member as well. Don't forget, guys, to pick up your memberships as well for the post-match show tomorrow. If do only gold and silver memberships get to come on, but please do pick up your memberships and send in your super chats. It does help us grow, and it dictates where we take the show, guys. Big up, boys. Most important thing, we don't concede early, and that is important, isn't it?
I will say something about that, though. We conceded early against Brentford, and look what happened. We smashed them 3-1. So
I know, but you don't want to go up to Old Trafford to concede early.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Brentford.
No, but we conceded at home though. I'd say if it was at the Brentford Stadium, I wouldn't be saying, oh yeah, we
Mm.
conceded, but we conceded at home early. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
I'd
no,
say
I get what
conceding
you're
early at home
saying.
is worse than conceding away to United early.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I do understand what you're saying, and I get it. But I think if you're away from home, you want to keep it tight for 10 or 15 minutes at least, and just sort of keep it tight. But look, yeah, we conceded early against Brentford, and we won. Look, we won up there, won 6-1. Under Mourinho. So how we would love that again. Look, this is a sort of very sort of quick pre-match show, guys. It isn't the usual one that I would normally put together. This was quickly put together. So I do apologize. And also I want to apologize to you guys for the lack of professionalism that I may be showing the last week and a bit. I am away on holiday, so I'm using a completely different setup. I'm in a different area where I normally would be at home with my usual setup where it's a bit more quieter and with the dogs and the cars. So I appreciate everyone being understanding. As I said, I can't wait to get back to work properly next Wednesday and Thursday, back full time. Now, the goalkeepers were Onana and Vicario. Vicario, captain, again, now brought into the leadership role within Angie's leadership team. He's now the fourth one in. I think it's a very good idea bringing them in. I really do. I think it's the right choice as well. How will they perform in high pressure matches? Do you feel Vicario thrives under high pressure matches more than Onana does? I think he does.
Yeah, of course, because we saw how well he performed against Arsenal and how well he performed against Newcastle and how well he performed against Karabakh. I know people keep saying, "Oh, it's Karabakh," but he still got a clean sheet out of it, and that was down with 10 men as well. So you had to take away even more shots. Then let's be honest. Let's say if we had 11 men, it wouldn't have been as close as it was. We would have probably gotten like maybe 6-7 more goals. I would have I probably might have been 5-6-0, something like that. But the fact is, we still have to play a bit more defensive, but we also have to play on the offense as well. So I feel like compared to Onana's he's a good goalkeeper. Don't get me wrong, but I think everybody still thinks a lot of United fans thought Onana would be as consistent as he was as in the Champions League final against City.
Mm. So I get what you're saying about Onana, but I feel Vicario's the bit more complete goalkeeper when it comes to Onana. I do, because I feel there was a couple of games I watched United last season, and I felt Onana let United down.
Yeah, but we also have to say in that same sense, Vicario let us down at times, unfortunately. I'd say the one place where Onana's more complete is set pieces and corners. That's where Onana's more complete compared to Vicario. But the rest of the game
as well. That will come with experience. And I think also when you're playing the Italian league, it's a completely different league to the Premier League. So he's not used to all this jostling.
But in that sense, neither is Onana. Because he
came in at the same time, didn't he? Yeah, but Onana had more of a season to get used to it. And if you look at Onana, for me, he makes too many. Vicario makes less mistakes than Onana does.
Yeah, I've always said this. So Vicario is the type of player, 30 out of 30 shots, he'd save 28.
Yeah.
But if football wasn't if football wasn't a game what could be decided like by 2 points, like let's say football was a bit more like rugby or Gaelic football, I think Vicario would be probably a world-class keeper. But the fact is, regular football is regular football, and 2 goals could turn the tide for the entire season.
I just think Vicario is a modern-day version, or will become a modern-day version of Pat Jennings.
Because I'd say current prime Buffon, I'd say more likely become than Pat Jennings.
Well, if you look at Pat Jennings, right, and Pat Jennings saved always a lot with his feet, and Vicario does as well. Shot stopping for me, Vicario is probably one of the best shot stopping goalkeepers in the Premier League.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, for me, I can see it. Look, you say Buffon, which is a compliment within itself. You saying that, and
Yeah, well,
Buffon was
Buffon's even said Vicario is going to become the next version of himself.
yeah, and well, I can look back at Pat Jennings, remember him playing, and Philip remembers Pat Jennings in his heyday. So he sees a lot within Vicario and Pat Jennings. So two of the best goalkeepers in the world class goalkeepers, he's being compared to, and to have him at Tottenham at such an early age, we could have the best goalkeeper for the next 10 years at Tottenham.
Yeah, of course. Because I think Buffon didn't retire till like his early to mid-40s, did he?
Yeah, I mean, no disrespect to Hugo Lloris, who was a great servant for the club, but we waited too long to replace him.
You want to know the funny thing about Lloris? He's just won a trophy with LAFC as well.
Yes.
So that just digs us down an even deeper hole, doesn't it, with our Spursy case?
I mean, he goes away and he wins the trophy. But look, I think Vicario is probably one of the best signings we've made in a while in the goalkeeper department. Really is. Look, we've got a couple of questions here. The bill here. Do you think Boris? I always say Boris Johnson. I don't know why. Brennan Johnson. Well, I think he will start tomorrow. If you look back at our starting lineup here, our predicted lineup, you do say Johnson does start. I have him in the starting lineup. Do you know, the more I look at that midfield, and you said Bentancur earlier, the more I think you put Bentancur instead of Sarr.
Yeah.
I think you might be onto something there.
Yeah, because then Basima can actually play his natural position. Because otherwise he'll have to play the makeshift 6 and it ends up not allowing him to get to his full potential, really.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to make Sarr as a box-to-box sort of midfielder, which is as an actual 8 and out 8, which is why I see us in the summer going for Johnny Cardosa, the guy we've got on offer from Betis once in the summer.
Yeah. So look, we both think Brennan Johnson will play. Liston as saying, big up, Bill. Great question. Liston as well says, Onana's got floppy hands and weak spaghetti wrists. Vicario hands are made of titanium, and still, that's a very good point. That save he made against Karabag, where the one he tipped it over the top of the bar, that was a world class save. I mean,
yeah, he does that a lot, doesn't he? To be honest,
it does. If Karabag could have finished their chances, I think that would have been a very different game.
Yeah, of course.
But look, a win's a win, and the win breeds confidence, and confidence breeds more confidence, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course. I will also say this. I do agree with you, the fact that Onana has been playing at a higher level for longer, because Onana was playing 2019 as the starting keeper for the Ajax team, what got to the UCL Champions League semi-final, what we beat him on.
Yeah.
And whereas Vicario was still playing in Serie B at that time, and he only had just recently got that move to Serie A, so it's understandable why Onana's still got the more experience. But I feel like in time, Vicario will get better. But as Lewis does say here, he does get bullied a bit too much.
Yeah.
But we have seen that happen a bit less, though, because we saw how much bulkier he got as soon as the season started. We both pointed that out, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. So with the bullying, do you feel he's learned from last season, or do you feel he's still learning? And then does that come down to Romero and Van der Ven or Porro? Somebody said, Gary Neville said it, and I agree with what Gary Neville said, right? When Peter Schmeichel was in goal, Peter Schmeichel always made sure there was a Man United player in front of him to protect him from the thing.
Yeah, of course.
And do Tottenham do the same tactic? Do they put a Romero or Van der Ven in the front of him, or Porro in front of him, to protect him, to give him the room? Because set pieces again are our Achilles heel. We can see too many goals from set pieces. So it's either we're not learning from our mistakes, or what is it? It's Ryan Mason's doing the set piece coaches. Why on God's green earth is he doing that?
I don't think he is. I think we got one of the guys from Celtic he wanted to bring down or something like that. That Chris, whatever his name is, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. He's brought down. I think he's doing like the attacking set pieces. I don't know if he's doing the defensive ones though, or Mason could be doing the defensive ones. But I'd probably say yeah, you're right and stuff like that. Do that sort of thing, like we saw Dragusin doing it a hell of a lot more and a hell of a lot better than Romero did. He actually protected Vicario. I'd say he's more. I'd say out of the two, I'd say Dragusin has a higher ceiling than Vicario does.
Yeah. Look,
Yeah.
with Romero, where's his head been at? I mean, for this last sort of question before we wrap it up, but tomorrow with Romero, he hasn't started the season well.
Yeah.
He's made a few. Every mistake he's made's led to a goal against us.
Yeah, of course.
Has his head been turned? I don't think it has. I think he's just played too much football. Personally.
Yeah, I think it's too much.
I think personally, I think we should have started Rudu for the first couple of games to give Romero a proper rest. Do you feel, especially now it's coming out, Sonny came out with it the other day, that footballers are not robots. We've got the Club World Championship starting in the summer as well at the end of this season. We've got then at the end of next season, we've got the biggest World Cup ever to be played.
Yeah,
in 3 continents.
3 countries, yeah, in America.
Then, we've got it's Canada, America, and Mexico. And then in 4 years' time after that, it's been played in 6 continents: Spain, Morocco, and Portugal, and then Argentina, Uruguay, and somewhere else in South America.
Because I do think that, and I think we also have to remember as well with Romero, from what reports had also come out saying that he was recovering from injuries and stuff like that, so he might have just been getting match fitness and sharpness back, really, which you can't get unless you play the players. You can't get that sort of stuff back.
He said after the Brentford game or after the Arsenal game, I had a fever. Well, why not tell the manager that before?
He probably did, but let's be honest, he probably said he was all right. He probably said he was all right, and Ange probably agreed with him because let's be honest, Romero, you can't really. He's one of the top defenders in the country. So let's be honest, if he says he's all right, he's all right. And
but his head's been turned though. He has not been putting in the performances he did against Brentford, and because he didn't play because he got that suspension from the AC Milan game. But that was his first proper game that he played this season against Brentford. So has his Real Madrid link sort of turned his head?
I don't think so. No, I think everybody just thought that was because of the performances and stuff like that. Of course, it would turn any player's head, but I think Romero's more thingy than that. And let's be honest, if we do end up winning the Europa League, I feel like he'd end up staying, to be honest. Or if we win any cup, because he says he wants to win trophies, and if he wins trophies with Spurs, I don't see him moving anywhere unless we get a huge sum of money. Let's be honest, for him. Like if we get 100+ million for him, unless we get that, I don't see him moving. Just like Mickey, I don't see him moving for. Honestly, I don't see Mickey moving for less than 200. Honestly, with how footballers' prices are going, to be honest, like Maguire went for 80 million, Van Dijk went for 70 million.
Yeah, I can't see them. With
prices now just rising and rising, aren't they, and stuff like that. Like the market value sites, it doesn't mean anything when it comes to a player.
Yeah, it does. Adewilia says you can't use Romero's protection; he would concede too many. I think Mickey would be better at doing that than Porro instead. Look, let's go for predictions. What's your score prediction for tomorrow, Boris? And where can people find you, sir?
Well, you can always find me on this great channel as well, but you can also find me on Twitter as well, or X as they now call it, is at Boris the Spurs. That's my handle right there. But I'd probably say for prediction wise, I've got 2. Both are still a Spurs win, but it'll either be 3-2 Spurs or 2-1 Spurs. But I see it being close no matter what. I don't see it being a clean sheet because just of how we play and how as Demo put there, Man United like to counter-attack and press. I don't see us getting a clean sheet out of it. I don't unless we get them into offside positions, but
Yeah.
I don't see that highly happening.
The poll has finished. We had 8 votes, so thank you for all the 8 people that have voted,
Big
and
up.
they've all 100% said Spurs can make it 4 wins in a row. So
Maybe Con was one of those people who voted because he said he wasn't confident about it, didn't he?
No.
To us.
Well, I'm going for a 2-0 win. I think we're going to win 2-0 and get a clean sheet. But guys, we are back tomorrow. We've got Tottenham team talks at 4:00. Between 4 and 4:15 will be Tottenham team talks, and then from 4:15 the watch along starts. Colin, myself, and Boris will all be here, bringing you the latest from Old Trafford, and then at 6:30 we got post-match live for half an hour,
which will be Dem and some of the others. I won't be attending.
Might be even by myself. If Colin can join me, that's brilliant. For you guys, you members that have gained your membership, your silver and gold memberships will get to come on. The link will be put into the member show. Come on, have you say win, lose, or draw. Let's see how you feel after the game tomorrow. We've got the real North 7-year. Lewis says, I can see a 4-2 to us. Big up, man. So can I. Boris, thank you so much again for everything you've done over the last week, last Saturday and today. But let's quickly finish off, guys, with the full times in the Premier League. And this is it. Wow, what a turnaround. We have games finished. Newcastle 1, Man City 1. Arsenal 4, Leicester 2. That was 2-2.
Okay, so does that mean Arsenal have gone up to first place?
Yeah. Brentford 1, West Ham 1.
Oh, Chelsea, wait, they haven't.
Hang on. Chelsea 4, Brighton 2. Everton win their first game of the season, 2-1 against Crystal Palace. And then Fulham have beaten Forest 1-0. So if we look at the league table, it's only by 1 goal. Arsenal are not top by.
Yep.
The top 4 are Man City on with 14 points, Arsenal with 14 points, Chelsea with 13 points. They're up there, which is a surprise to me. Liverpool are 4th on 12 points. They played 5. Villa on 5 played a game less. Then Liverpool and Villa played a game less than the top 3. They're both on 12. Fulham, Newcastle are both on 11 points each for 6 games. Brighton is 7th on 9. Forest are on 9. Spurs are on 7th. We're actually equal 10th tomorrow, and Man United are on 7th as well as Brentford. But we have a better goal difference than Man United +4. And then, of course, the bottom 3 are Everton are out of the bottom 3, guys, for some apparent reason. I don't know how the hell they've done that. But they're now 15th on 4th, 4 points. Leicester 16th with 3. Crystal Palace 17th with 3. Then the bottom 3 are Ipswich with 3. Southampton with 1. Wolves with 1. So that is your bottom 3. What do you reckon to that? Boris?
I'm just discussing that Arsenal are 2nd.
Yeah.
And the fact that Chelsea are 3rd. But let's be honest, though, they've had a good start. But let's be honest, Chelsea have had a good start. But once they get found out, they'll end up falling off.
Yeah, they will do. And we'll go up there and beat them. Big up to Dragon D Nuts as well. He says Arsenal are 2nd. Big up, Boris. Thank you so much indeed for everything you've done. We will see you tomorrow, sir, for Tottenham Team Talks and the watch along joining me and Colin. Of course, we're back live tomorrow at 4. But whatever you do, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Come on, you Spurs. Big Andrew, we trust. We always win. Come on, you Spurs. So do you want to give your famous... You take us out with your famous quote.
Goodbye and go cry.
I love it. Absolutely love it.